Busted. Fully busted. Alright, people. Welcome back to the channel. I've been on sort of a hiatus for a little while. Got some pretty good projects going on at work, so I haven't had a ton of time to, hit the trails. So, I'm sure some of you have noticed, whether you appreciate them or not. I don't really care. Like them if you will, or not. It doesn't matter. But I've been posting some politically motivated signs of the times, sort of, maybe some content that might trigger you, or maybe you appreciate it. So I'm going to continue that to fill in the gaps between the semi-work related ditch digger sort of content and the RC content, which is where I want to be. But anyhow, we're going to hit a couple lines here, obstacles that you've all seen, and of course we got the roosters in the background, so that's a sort of a staple here. I'm going to see if I can find my way up right here. We're going to run this LCG rig here, the YFG XFXF chassis with the Mojave body, pinched, chopped and dropped here. I don't have a name for this rig. I notice a lot of you guys out there on these other channels are naming your rigs. I don't have a name, so see if I can blast up this thing. Oh yeah, we got that. I'm running the let's just mention the chassis, YFG XFXF LCG chassis. I've got a set of IERC angled skid sliders on there that I've had to modify a bit to fit this chopped and dropped Mojave body. I've got a Hobby Wing 1080 tried and true ESC in there with the Holmes 16 turn 540 can Crawlmaster Sport. A lot of you guys know this rig, but some of you may not. I'm running the Chinese internet Vanquish F10 Capra clone axles, portals, Chinese internet portals or chortals. Chinese internet front bumper. I'm also running from the Chinese internet the 10-2 or 10 axial clone transmission, the 3-gear with the dig unit on it, the Hertz dig. It's a Vanquish clone dig unit. So let's give that a shot right here and see what it looks like. It doesn't look like much when it doesn't work. It doesn't. There we go. Get it in there. Anyway, it does work, but I mean, sometimes you dig in the wrong spot and you don't get the results. So, what else on the front? Yeah, let's talk shocks. On the front, I've got a set of, are they the GTS axle or shocks from Traxxas? The TRX4 shocks. Ooh, nice. We'll run down that there. Yeah, anyway, and on the rear I got a set of elements, which I'm not real excited about. They kind of, everyone seemed to like those element shocks quite a bit, but they leak. They leak almost as bad as the Chinese internet shocks. You know, or the RC four-wheel drive King shock license shocks. They're some of the worst shocks out there. I don't know what everybody's big deal with those element shocks are, but they're not good. Okay, this one's a tricky spot because you got to get the rear end to clear that trough, otherwise you'll have you'll come over backwards. So I'm gonna have to bounce it. There we go. We got it. Anyway, that's the short end of it all. The steering servo is a Flash Hobby 60 kg direct power servo, so that's a pretty good servo so far anyway. I've heard of a few people burning them out. I haven't experienced that yet, but I don't have too many miles on it, so. We're out here in the main part of the course. This is the go-to spot, and I start a lot of the videos here. Sometimes I don't, but this is a culmination of 4 or 5 years of piecing together an obstacle course for myself and the kids and anyone who wants to wheel. But I'm sort of out in the middle of nowhere in southern Utah, so off the beaten path for the local folks in the area that want to come wheel. So it's mainly a private, closed course sort of deal. So anyway, the front axle is overdriven. I have a hot racing gear set out of the 10.2, so I don't know what the percentage is. It's not a great amount. It's probably like 6 somewhere, maybe let's just say 5 to 10%. It's a step up from stock. So these axles, these Chinese internet Vanquish clone Chortals are, they accept all the parts you would imagine they would from Axial and aftermarket, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna wander up here, come down one more time, and then I'll get off this little obstacle set and move to another one. That's a pretty good little spot there. Kind of swinging over here. A lot of concrete out here, a lot of natural rock, some sandstone, flagstone, some wood, some stumps. Okay, I couldn't get the dig to dig, but now I got the dig in action. This is a tricky little spot. You get bellied out, so I'm gonna goose it. Didn't exactly work. Oh yeah, wheels and tires. SSD. I don't know what model they are, but they're SSD wheels with the Pitbull growlers on there. And I don't know what foam it is. I can't be sure where what tire set or where they came from, but they're a stiffer foam. But they're a little bit. They're probably for like a. Uh-oh. Get that dig in there. Okay, I've goofed it, but anyhow, they're probably a 4.6 tire, so they don't quite fill out these growlers to the fullest. So I got a good. I'm going over. I don't want to lose it. So anyway, I'll get back to that. Foam there. They're smaller for a 4.6 tire, so they don't fill out the growlers all the way. So the growlers are quite soft in the initial, and then they firm up quite a bit, and where that benefits is sidewall deflection. So they hold up quite well, especially when you're coming down in a turn. Let's take a look at that, so you can see what I'm saying, how they hold up. You can see that right there. That's pretty good. And that's pretty much fully loaded up on that driver's side tire. So there's a little bit there, a little bit of squish, but they definitely don't roll over like a lot of these other, like a lot of foams do. So let's cut out here and go to never mind, let's climb up right here. I'm gonna cut out and go to the other section, but we'll finish up here with this this little obstacle here, right through the cobwebs. I got a black widow web over there. I'm pretty sure I'm all wrapped up in it. I'm going to carry some leaves and debris with me here, as you can see. We'll get all that stuff sorted out, but we are now going to pick up and go to this other side. Yeah, look at those webs right there. That's definitely a black widow web. Late September, they should have already moved on, but who knows? Who knows what we got? All right, so we're down in the lower section of the course here, which is actually the oldest section. And it's just sort of a natural drainage, a natural kind of a, I want to just call it a ditch, but there's quite a bit of elevation change in the property. So this was where we had seasonal runoff from snow and rain. And I just used that area because it's got a natural V shape to it. I'll step back so you can get an idea. But it's a bowl, kind of big sort of U-shaped deal where I could line it with rocks and natural boulders and create some obstacles right there. This is the buried drain culvert. You got rocks all throughout here that I started with. This was the original place, so this is where it's at. And I'm kind of in a little bit of a tricky spot here because we've got traction variables. This rock on the left, this kind of grayish blue one here, is very smooth. They're all very smooth, but this one's the most smooth, and it kind of hangs everything up. I can't get a bite on it really. I gotta swing the truck up to the right and then hook it left so it can kind of run along the edge of that inside part of that rock. Anyway, as you go up, you get onto a great big stump here, and this great big stump is obviously made of wood. It's got decent traction, but you belly out quite a bit on top, so you can't really just crawl over it. You gotta get to the breakover point, and that takes a little bit of extra throttle, so I'm gonna do that right now. Maybe. Almost got it. And that's a fail. Let's try it again. Did I just break something? No, I didn't break. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Look at that. Okay, well, I might have broken something in the portal box. That's interesting. We'll have to check that out. But that's a deal breaker. It's a big deal breaker right there. So we'll take it in and we'll take a look. Anyway, that's it for this trail session. What a shame. Hopefully it's just, maybe it could be as much as I could have, and it's happened before. You've all probably busted those cross pins for your wheel hex. That could have been it. So we'll go check it out. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll report back with what the damage is. Okay, well, as you can see there, the Vanquish clone Chortal outdrive busted. Fully busted. There's the cross pin that keeps everything in the gear. It's awfully blurry here. I'll get it to focus anyway. That piece, you know, goes like so and rides something like that in the gear, and then this little end my thumb is on, where that lighter color is what rides in the bearing. So I guess it just broke. I guess it just broke. I wasn't even beaten on it. So that's a fail. It's a fail. So I'm going to have to see at this point if the Vanquish parts or the Capra, I'm sure the Capra parts are interchangeable, so I'm going to look for those. I'm going to look for a replacement for it. So anyway, wish me luck. Wish me luck.